Hey, welcome to Geeky Faucets. I'm Amy Dale.
And I'm Christine Lucas Savage.
This is episode 9. And the last episode we went to the comic book store. Hope you watched that. It was really fun, and Vicky was awesome. We love her.
So was Dustin. We love him too.
Yes. And we have show and tell. So
I actually read all of mine.
I think we were talking about like how many comic books I was going to buy, and I was on a budget. So I couldn't buy as many as I
was kind of proud. You only got like 4.
5. Well,
5.
4 and a graphic novel. So that's not too bad.
I bought 2.
Yeah, so I think you should share.
Okay, so this one, Young Love. So it was fun, but you know, it was a little sappy even for me, and that's kind of saying something because
he loved her, but enough to marry her against her family's wishes.
I know, it's drama. No, but the guy what's his name, Mike? Yeah. He said, just be aware that this was written in, I think, the 60s. So it was kind of like, you know how girls were in the 60s with their men and like, oh, I need a man and all this stuff. And which it totally was.
There was no girl power at that point.
No. But it was a bit sappy, but it was still kind of fun. It was nice to know that things like this actually existed. So
yeah. Okay, so I got a dollar one. It was Planet of the Apes. Yeah, it was alright. This one, the final issue, issue of Captain America. It was pretty good. My favorite, I think, of the ones that I bought, that I've read so far, because I have not read, this one I got, it was called Sweet Tooth, and it's a graphic novel. And it's like a post-apocalyptic type story, where they've done like human-animal hybrids, or whatever you call
like
it.
The guy from Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. What's his name?
Edmund?
No, the
Oh, Mr. Tumnus.
That's the one.
Oh yeah, he does kind of look like Mr.
Kind of does. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw that.
Anyway, so my daughter read this one. I haven't read it yet, but she said it was pretty good. So it's a series though, so we need to continue getting some. But the new 52 in DC, I have not experienced yet, and so I got one of the Justice League ones, and I loved it. This is one of my favorite ones I got actually. So I'm gonna continue on in that. And then also Thunderbolts. I got an old issue of Thunderbolts.
Thundercats, ho!
Dude, Thundercats were cool.
I know,
I'm not gonna knock the Thundercats because they were awesome. But this is Thunderbolts, which has Man-Thing in it, which is actually what I was looking for, was a Man-Thing comic, because I bought a piece of Man-Thing art at Galaxy Fest. And I thought it was pretty awesome, so...
Do you want to see my other comic book? It's
please.
It's on par with, you know, the Avengers. It's It Girl.
Don't make me laugh on I'm sorry.
So this is actually kind of funny. I kind of like her. She's kind of cute. I want to read another one of hers just to see where it goes, because she just got transported somewhere. So that was good.
I think the back is worth noting.
Yeah, the back is worth noting.
Battle Pug.
But look how cute he is. He's got like this super buff like Conan guy on the top, and then he's like, "Hey, he's a pug." Isn't that funny?
Battle Pug.
Okay, so what I really want to show you, I love this comic. I found it just because I was searching through people who are going to be at Denver Comic Con and people I'd like to interview, and so I found this, Love and Capes. So he describes it.
So this guy is going to be at Denver Comic Con.
Yeah, Tom Zoller.
Yes,
something like that, whatever.
That's great.
He's going to be there. So on here it says the heroically super situation comedy, but he kind of describes it as like a romantic comedy, because what he was saying, what I read, is that he really liked the show Lois and Clark. But he liked the interaction between Lois and Clark, but every time, you know, Superman came out, he was just like, oh, it got boring. You know what I mean? And so he's like, I'm going to write something that's...
Mostly that part,
but with also superhero stuff. And so far, I'm a good portion of the way into it, something like this, 100 and something pages into it.
It's long.
This is a trade. I have to tell you, I'm so excited. Listen how exciting this is. So I called every single comic book store in the Springs looking for this, but nobody carries it right now apparently, which is freaking frustrating, but whatever. And I said, do you guys have Love and Capes? And they're like, oh, what are you looking for? Like, what are you looking for? I'm like, oh, I'd like trades. I'm like, yeah, I totally knew what that word meant.
You were so
But I'll say,
educated.
you know, it's okay if it can be trades or regular. That's fine with me. I was really, you don't even understand how.
I felt like the comic book.
I
cool.
did.
No.
I did. But anyway, I felt like I knew what I was talking about, instead of some like dumb girl who just is dumb with comics. But this is really funny. Like, I really like it. There's 4 trades out right now. Or 3, and the 4th one's going to be coming out, which I think I'm going to be reading them all, because it's
like
the,
take him and get him to sign him. That'd be so cool.
I'm totally gonna do that. But anyway, it's very good. It's worth checking out if you don't like
Thunderbolts
or
Justice League.
I mean, it's just a little different, I'll say. But anyway,
a little bit.
It's very good. I really, really like it, and I was shocked at how much I actually really, really like it. There's this one interaction between these two where, you know, she just finds out he's a superhero, and he's like, oh, so who are your super ex-girlfriends, you know, or your ex-girlfriends, and he's like, haha. And it turns out to be like this giant boobed, like,
gorgeous
girl kind of. It's hilarious. Like the interactions are hilarious.
You know what I kind of want to read is Scott Pilgrim. Wait, is that his name?
The movie?
Well, yeah. There's a series of
a comic book.
Yeah, there's a series of like graphic novel type things, and they look really good. So I thought that would be fun.
Oh, and I'd like to also start, totally switching gears, changing topics. So, you know, we did our cosplay show a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
We did it early for a reason, so you guys can get prepared for your cosplay stuff. So I'd like to show you the reason why we did it early. You see the shirt I'm wearing? Warning, offensive. I did not order the shirt.
So, that.
Thank you. So, I ordered a Captain Hammer shirt, and I ended up getting sent this one. This is actually supposed to go to some guy in England. The packaging label said.
Yeah, those English guys.
I know, very offensive. But I thought it was hilarious. I'm like, maybe the universe is trying to tell me something. Sending me this shirt. I don't know. But anyway, so I ended up getting this shirt, which I thought was funny, so I'm going to wear it anyway. But I also got my Captain Hammer shirt the other day, and it turns out it was a crappy printing job. Like, I was just putting makeup on this morning before the show, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like the messiest makeup putter on her ever. But then upon closer look, there was like a line, perfectly straight. I'm like, I can't drop makeup on me in a perfectly straight line.
No, not that gifted.
And also it was like made for a really wide person.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like short and wide.
Yeah, it was very odd. So I think I'm going to have to return that and keep my search for Captain Hammer shirts up. I'm a little bit, but
that's why you prepare in advance.
The good news is, yes, is we still have a month or so.
Yeah. That's why I'm really glad, because that's why I'm working out.
Yeah, I need to stop drinking coffee and eating hot dogs around the fire. If I do that, I think it'll do me some good. But
Happy Easter.
Yeah,
this is Christine's Easter present last year for me.
Isn't he cute?
Lord Vader with ears. It's pretty awesome. He doesn't like to sit up.
Did you know they have hollow stormtroopers at Walmart?
I got one for my son.
Oh wait, were you and I were there? Weren't
yeah,
we?
they have like they're like bunnies. He's not gonna sit up. They have like bunnies. They look like chocolate bunnies, but they're stormtroopers with ears. It's pretty great.
You know, my favorite thing to do at Easter is to get a hollow Easter bunny or stormtrooper and pour chocolate milk into him and drink chocolate milk out of the hollow
Like
Easter.
eat the ears off?
Oh, eat the ears off first and then drink chocolate milk out of them.
Yeah, we're going to try that this year because you told me that was
my
your tradition.
favorite. It's my favorite. My kids love it.
Yeah, we're going to try that. Okay, so we have to talk about something very exciting coming up.
What's that?
Doctor Who is returning.
I know. I'm sorry for all of those who I thought it started last week, but it really doesn't.
No, it's like March 30th, right?
The day I know. I totally thought March 30th was last Sunday. I think I got caught up in the excitement.
Yeah, well, it is very exciting.
I'm thrilled.
And they had a little mini prequel, which we posted on something. It was pretty great.
Yes, it was.
With Clara. And I read something online, which I was telling Christine, which was a theory about who Clara Oswin is.
I'd like that to be true.
And I thought it was a really good theory, which was it's the girl from the library. Sorry, my dogs.
Your dogs are
those
attacking each other right by the door. It's quite funny.
So it's a theory that it's a theory that like the girl from the library, which the girl that controlled the library and the one with Donna and the doctor, the 10th Doctor.
David Tennant, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a theory that she's the little girl that the library was created for. Which I thought was pretty intriguing. I was like,
Anything with the Doctor is amazing. I'm
also,
so excited.
The 50th anniversary is coming up, which they have not really released anything about what they're going to do. Like, it's all top secret. The only thing I've heard is that Captain Jack is not going to be involved.
Oh.
That's the only thing
that kind of makes me sad because I think he's really funny.
I do too. I think he's really funny. Although
I think he's really cute too.
Yeah, he is. In the show, yeah. Although when I've seen him interviewed, he's a little bit over the top sometimes. Have you seen him interviewed?
Yeah, I've watched him on panels at Comic-Con and stuff. Him and David Tennant kissed, and I'm like, oh, okay then. Fangirls went a little nuts.
He's a little bit. I'm just like, calm down.
I like him.
And then the other thing, so the 50th anniversary is super exciting, and I don't even know what's going to happen yet. They're not really revealing very much. The other thing that I have read several places is that Peter Jackson has said that he wants to direct an episode of Doctor Who. And
thank you very much.
Hello, fan worlds collide. And
I know, Hobbit.
The moons all align and everything perfect happens.
As long as there's no orcs battling, I will be fine.
He said that he did want to put in a 10-minute long battle scene.
If he does that, I swear to God, I'm going to write hate mail. Hate mail. Doctor Who is not 10 minutes of battling.
He has been a Doctor Who fan for like ever.
So he knows how it works.
Kid. Yeah, so he
knows that there aren't 10-minute battle scenes with orcs and hobbits.
He knows. Also, this has been going around the interweb. April 23rd is Impossible Astronaut Day, which that's the day that episode took place. And Whovians are suggesting that all the other Whovians wear tally marks all over them on that day.
I'm totally gonna do that.
Yeah,
we're gonna be like the only two in Woodland Park, Colorado. I know. I'm like, oh my God, what's wrong with those girls?
Yes,
it's Impossible Astronaut Day. Don't you know? I'm gonna wear my Doctor Who shirt.
Yeah. So, so April 23rd, wear your tally marks. Yeah, show your Whovian.
We'll remind you
fandom. Do what?
We'll remind you on Facebook. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter because we'll remind you there.
And then also coming up the same day as Doctor Who, I believe, returns, is Tabletop Day. And if you don't know anything about tabletop, there's a channel on YouTube called Geek and Sundry, which was started by Felicia Day and some other people. I don't know, sorry. And then she has a show on that channel, which she's involved in, but Will Wheaton hosts it, and it's all about board games. If you love board games, you should definitely go check it out, because he basically introduces a board game, tells kind of the rules, and then they play a little bit of it on the show.
I've never actually seen it.
It's really cool. Yeah, it's a good show. It's very entertaining, especially if you're looking into board games and what you want to play and stuff.
Is it just board games, or is it card games too, or is it any kind of game?
Yeah, I think it's like any kind of game that you play on a table.
Oh, tents, tabletop.
And they're having this thing called Tabletop Day, which you can look on the internet at tabletopday.com, and we'll put a link underneath so you can click on it.
What happens at Tabletop Day?
You get together with friends and play games. You can go to your gaming store, and they have all kinds of things going on. And
dude, geeks have the coolest holidays. I'm just saying.
I know. We're
Tabletop
awesome.
Day, where everybody plays games,
fun.
and then you get to color on yourself and not be a crazy person. I love that. Okay, and I mean that sincerely. Like, I think it's awesome.
So they have done a lot of different kinds of games, and especially obviously geared more towards geeks, you know. And like I saw in the background of one, which I didn't see them review this, but I saw like sitting in the background that they have like Settlers of Catan, but it's like the Star Trek version.
Oh, see, that I could get into, because I like Settlers of Catan.
I hate Settlers of Catan, but you know what? I hate any game that involves strategy because it's not my gifting. I know, I just hate it. What I do when I play Settlers of Catan is I use the little block things and I make all kinds of pretty things right here while I'm trying to pretend that I'm not playing this game that makes me feel really bad.
You should play with me. I'm up for blood and I like to win, so.
I like to play nerds. That's the only thing, really.
Yeah, I can't be trusted with that one.
Christine's competitive.
If you don't believe it, play nerds with her. Or Pictionary.
Woo!
I'm not allowed to play Pictionary anymore.
It's not a physical contact game. She needs to know that.
No. And I'm a massive trash talker.
It's offensive.
Yes, slightly offensive. Warning, offensive. It's true. And when I play Pictionary, yes, I am. It's a problem. Me and my friend Renee, my favorite roommate, her and I, we rocked at it. I'm just telling you what. We were the best. Nobody could beat us. And which is why I got pissed when people beat us.
Because apparently somebody did beat us.
I'm a sore loser, too. So, anyway.
Okay, and The Walking Dead you recently tried.
I could not.
My husband is not really into sci-fi or any of the geek stuff that I'm into. He tolerates it. Not Doctor Who. He won't even. He's British and he won't even watch an episode of Doctor Who.
My husband will tolerate it. But he doesn't.
Yeah, no, John won't watch Doctor Who. But he got me into Downton Abbey, and I watched the whole freaking show, all episodes, whatever. And I don't understand why I cared so much, but I did. Whatever. I kept watching it. I was mad because I didn't want to like it. And after every episode, I was like, I don't even know why I like this show. It's just about people and nothing exciting is happening. I don't get it. But I do. I really like it. So, there's that. But, I was like, I watched Downton Abbey. You want to watch The Walking Dead? Because I kept telling him about it, and he was like, fine, I'll watch a couple episodes. Well, after he got over after you watch a few episodes, you get over the initial, like, shock of like seeing zombies' brains whacked out all the time. Like
that doesn't bother me when I watch it. But the problem for me is like in the opening scene when it's like the first 5 minutes of the show, he's in the hospital, and I'm like seriously like anxious that something's gonna pop out at me. Like this is childhood trauma.
I'm in season 3 and he's still alive, just so you know.
I know that, but I'm just saying. No, it's not even that. It's not even that he's gonna get killed. It's somebody's gonna go and pop out. Like seriously.
Oh, it's my like brothers, jump out thing.
Yes, my brothers. I would be in the bathroom, and every single time I'd get out of the bathroom, they'd be like, "Ha!" and scare the.
Well, at least you just peed.
This is true, but still, like my heart is like, and I'm like, oh God, please, I hope nothing jumps out because I don't want to jump. Like, yeah. So I'm like, nope, too much anxiety. I'm gonna go watch my Korean dramas. No anxiety there.
Well, so I'm up to date on The Walking Dead.
If you have anxiety issues, don't watch it.
So I'm gonna talk to you about it for a second because I can't talk to my one geek friend about it because she has anxiety problems. Watch it. But I hate the governor with more hate than I knew that I had in me. So much hate. I so hate him. I hope you guys feel the same. Let me know what you think.
I think I feel the same.
I think that you definitely would. You definitely would. Trust me, you would hate this man. And I love Daryl's my favorite, and I think it's partly he's a little bit redneck. Well, he's a lot of it redneck, which is definitely.
See the guy on Pinterest and all those memes with all the guns?
He usually has a crossbow.
Or maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
I think I know who you're talking about. Just because Pinterest is great. Don't ever, like, people make fun of people who on Pinterest sometimes, I'm sure, especially geeky people, but don't go into the little geek section.
Dude,
you will learn
a geek
lot.
section on Pinterest.
That's the first place I go.
Ooh, it's the only place I go just about, so it's awesome. Okay. Oh, the other thing I wanted to talk about. Oh, and the season finale of The Walking Dead is coming up, which is kind of sad because then it ends for a while.
I hate when that happens.
But
Dr. Julian, so.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's a good point. Also, I wanted to talk about this, which is at the top of my Arrow. The Arrow. Well, no, it's just called Arrow. Arrow. Have you heard about this show? It's been going, I think, for a little while, and it's a show about Green Arrow from like comics. And yeah. This guy, whose name I don't know. I just read an article about it in
he looks
Entertainment
familiar.
Weekly, and I was just intrigued by it because I have never seen it, and I was like, oh, I think I would like a show about superheroes, but I've not watched it, so I need to.
If any of you have seen it, let us know what you think. Like if it's even worth it, because sometimes I'd rather watch Korean dramas than waste my time on a stupid show.
No, but yeah, so let us know what you think, because I read that it kind of started off decent and then it kind of went, yeah, but then it's getting better again. So
yeah,
if you're watching, let us know what you think. And then I think G.I. Joe is coming out, right?
I think it's very soon.
I think it's out. It's out now. So if you've seen it, let us know what you think.
I need to go see that.
I haven't seen it yet.
That's one of the ones that that's one that you want to see. I don't really think I care about.
Is another one that we talked about before that's on there. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. The ratings on Rotten Tomatoes for the host are not optimistic.
That doesn't shock me at all. How did you look him up on look it up on G.I. Joe?
G.I. Joe is like middle ground.
Well, that means I'll love it. Usually, if a critic likes a movie, I generally hate it. But if a critic hates a movie, I generally like it.
Yeah. So G.I. Joe was like 50-something%, I think, when I looked, and the host was 16%.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I wonder if it's just because it's a Stephanie Meyer thing, and they're kind of like still
hating on it
because of Twilight.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
Could be. And my daughter has a definite aversion to anything that looks remotely like Twilight, and that's what she said about I read The Host and liked it. I liked the book a lot. But when we watched the preview together, she was just like,
But is it? I wonder if it's the age though, and the whole romance thing and things like that. Because when I was that age, I'm like, I'm gonna throw up all over this movie theater seat if I have to see someone kiss on TV.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point. Oh, and there's an extended trailer for the Wolverine now. Have you seen this?
No.
Yeah, the new Hugh Jackman, X-Men, whatever.
I gotta look this up.
Yeah, I saw the other day. I saw something that said, "Oh, there's a new Wolverine trailer," so I went and watched it, and I'm still undecided. But Hugh Jackman's in it, so there's strong leaning towards awesome.
Did they have his shirt off?
I don't. I think at some point he probably did. Surely.
Oh well, then we're good.
Yeah. Sure.
Anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, he did at one point when we were watching. By the way, Les Mis is a great movie. This is not a geek movie, but it is a great movie. And we bought it, and you can borrow it if you want. And we watched all the making of stuff, and it was amazing. If you guys have watched Les Mis and have the DVD, you should definitely watch the making of it. I was like, wow. And yeah, there was a point where Hugh Jackman did not have a shirt on, and I was like,
oh, is that why?
Wow, he's been working out a lot. John was like, oh my word, because he looked airbrushed. I mean, like, because I think he was trying to look like this guy, you know, because the story of Jean Valjean at the beginning, he's worked hard labor for like 20 years, and so he wanted to look like he didn't get a lot to eat, but he worked out a lot, and I was like, well, he success. So, anyway, okay, so today we want to talk about social media stuff, because we have a lot of joy out of
stalking people.
It's our favorite. And you can stalk us. It's okay. We
like it.
So Twitter and Facebook, the only one I could think of on Facebook, really, the celebrity is George Takei, which I just read like a couple weeks ago that I've been pronouncing his name wrong. It's actually George Takei, and what he put on there was, my name is pronounced George Takei, rhymes with gay, easy to remember, no? I was like, you are so funny, because he's
George Takei.
Pretty gay.
Well, there you go.
George Takei.
He always posts really funny pictures that are just...
Yeah, he's funny. On Facebook, if you haven't liked him on Facebook, you should go like him. I think he's on Twitter, too. I actually don't follow him on Twitter, but I've liked his page on Facebook, and he's definitely funny. A lot of geek humor and just other stuff as well, but yeah.
He can make fun of himself, too, which I always appreciate people who can just kind of go with the flow and make fun of themselves and just, you know what I mean? Trait. And they're really light... heart. I mean, that's like Will Wheaton, who's listed on Twitter. Like, he can totally make fun of himself. Like, on Big Bang Theory, they're always just, you know, bringing up Star Trek and all this. I don't know. I just really like that, you can be light about it. Yeah. Not taking because that makes
seriously.
people like you more, I think.
Yes. Yeah, so on Twitter, we have a big list. And then, you know, there's the new thing, Vine. Have you heard of Vine?
I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't watch videos that often on...
Oh, yeah. Christine has a thing about watching videos.
Yes, because my children, as soon as I push play, it's like this. All three of them, boom.
It's like a sensor, and they all come in and gather around you while you're trying to watch it, and you're like...
You're like, oh, what? It's mine.
It's my Exactly. So we do not watch video. She does. No, I send her videos, and it just takes forever for her to actually...
She sent me one that I really want to actually watch, but I have in-laws in town this week, and so I just...
Yeah.
I can't sit there and watch videos while they're in town, although we do sit around and check our Facebook.
Right. There you go.
But then it is like people listening to what you're listening to, and I'm just like, don't stop listening. This is my business, not yours.
I know, I'm watching this video. Yeah, so she doesn't watch a lot of videos. But, okay, so Twitter. Let's get back on task here.
My favorite, shockingly enough, right, is Nathan Fillion, to follow him.
It's really surprising.
As you can see, I clearly don't have a fangirl crush on him at all. No, but he's funny because
he is funny.
He's funny
and entertaining on
This
Twitter.
one day he put up, he said, I'm giving out bad advice for the rest of the day. And he was just...
It was so funny.
It was hilarious. And the stuff he was giving out was actually, some of it was actually kind of decent. It was bad advice, but it made sense.
No, there was one that was really funny because he said, one guy said, I went to help a kid who fell down. My cell phone fell out of my pocket when I leaned over and hit him in the head. And so he was like giving answers like what you would say. And so he was like, "It's for you," which I thought was pretty funny.
For you.
I can't remember all of them, but it was just all like super witty.
Super
and
funny.
Yeah, he's a very funny guy.
And I really like what he does. He's done this a couple of times where he'll do a scavenger hunt. Like, he'll post a video, like, he'll put something, I don't ever know what it is. He did it in London once, he did it in LA once, I've seen.
Oh, like he hides stuff,
he'll
and
hide
then
it,
tells people
and then tells people, he's like, this is where it's been hidden, and then people go and find it.
Tony Hawk does that a lot, yeah.
I really love that about him. And he posts pictures. And I will say, he's like the master of the photobomb. Have you ever noticed
my word, and it's so funny.
It is, because he pulls these faces. I'm like, how could you be so funny all the time? I don't know how it's possible.
But there is one picture of Will Wheaton's wife, Anne, with Nathan Fillion, and they're like...
I saw that, and Will Wheaton's
in the back, photobombing him, and he's like, it's so funny.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
I don't know, he's so funny, and he always posts pictures of people from Castle, like, videos of people from Castle, and dude makes me happy. I can't even express. It's kind of sickening.
He's a good one.
Yeah.
And then I personally have a long-standing thing for William Shatner. I love him a lot. And so I follow him on Twitter, and he's pretty funny. He's, he's not young. I'm amazed at
You're
these
talking
people.
like him right now.
I am talking like William Shatner. No, I'm just like I'm amazed at people who can be in their 80s and be so like active on Twitter.
80s?
Yes.
I want to be like that when I'm 80.
I know, because like I can barely figure out technology now, and I'm not
You're like,
old.
I'm screwed in about 50
I know.
years.
I'm going to be like, hey kids, there's some new thing I need to get on. Oh, we were talking about Vine. We got distracted. I was going to tell them what Vine is. Vine is like Twitter except for video, and it's 6 seconds. So you can make like 6-second videos and post them. And we have a Vine account. We've never used it because we figure you get 30-minute videos of us. We just haven't done it yet.
We haven't.
I don't know. At Vine, and a lot of people use it, but I'm not sure yet. I'm undecided about that. So, but yeah, so William Shatner's a good one to follow. Another, if you're looking for 80-year-old geeks, another good one is Stan Lee, who's the comic book legend.
Is he actually funny?
He has moments like where he'll go through like he calls himself Generalissimo, and he's kind of funny and quirky, but he posts a lot of like interviews and pictures and things like that. So he's not as funny. Okay, but some of my absolute favorite people to follow on Twitter are Nick Frost, Simon Pegg, and Edgar Wright. They are the Ice Cream and Blood trilogy people, or Cornetto trilogy, whatever you want to call it. The Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and now World's End guys. So Edgar Wright's the director and I think co-writer, and Simon Pegg is a writer and an actor, and then Nick Frost is one of the actors. And
they're funny.
They're funny because not only are they funny individually, like just on Twitter, they just say funny things, but like they'll get in these conversations where the three of them will like have this banter back and forth, and it is hysterical. So
I've never
funny.
actually witnessed a banter between all of them.
Yeah.
But I really like how Nick Frost posts pictures of food. That's what he usually does, is he posts pictures of food.
Or he
is
talks
he a
about
chef?
I don't know, but he obviously likes to cook, and he's talking about like, I'm making the perfect gravy right now. I'm putting the roast in, and da-da-da-da, and I'm always like, oh.
I know, my mouth starts watering.
I know. I'm like, Nick Frost needs to cook for me.
And then Simon Pegg's just funny. He's got that
He
British, like everything he says,
very
and then
funny.
I read it in his voice.
Yeah.
And I
know,
can't, and I'm just like, dude, how are you funny on a daily basis? Like I try to think of funny things to post, and I post them, and I'm like, oh.
I don't think he has to try to be funny. He's
No.
just funny. And so is Edgar Wright. Edgar Wright has the same kind of sense of humor that's just, he's just funny. Yeah. So those are some really great ones. Will Wheaton, I love following him, and his wife. Anne.
I like following him when he's watching a hockey game.
Yes.
He gets really into it. And I
does.
love hockey too. I'm a huge hockey fan, and so watching people
very into it. Yeah,
Yes,
it's really
yes.
funny. And
him and his wife are funny together.
they are, because
I
if
think
you follow him, you should probably follow her, because they're pretty funny. And then Felicia Day, we love her. She's really great, and I follow her, and she posts some really funny pictures from her cons that she goes to, and some funny things. I've been watching The Guild too. I'm trying to catch up all the way because I started watching it, way after it came out. But the good thing is, it has 6 seasons, but the episodes are like 6 minutes long.
Oh, that's nice.
So you can like watch a bunch of episodes, before the kids come.
No, my kids are there within the first 2.5 seconds.
It's like there's some sort of radar.
They're in phone, talking on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
It's even worse. No, everybody's fine. And then as soon as you pick up the phone, Mom!
I know. Darn
Anyway.
kids. Yeah, okay, so then the other one that I was going to mention, there were several other, but Tara Strong is a voice actress, and she does the voice for Twilight Sparkle. I hope I didn't get
That's
that
a My
wrong.
Little Pony.
It's My Little Pony.
If
and
you're
then
curious.
Bubbles from the Powerpuff Girls.
See, these are my kind of show. I love My Little Pony. I love Powerpuff Girls.
What's
and
the other one
Love
that she
and
does?
Capes
Oh,
and It Girl.
Timmy from Fairly Odd Parents. She does a ton of voices. She does video game voices. She does like a ton of voices. And they're all like really unique. It's amazing to me. She's amazing. And so I follow her on Twitter, and she posts a lot of stuff from, conferences she goes to and like different Comic-Con type things, and she's pretty entertaining. And then Neil Gaiman, comic book, graphic novel-ish legend and writer, and he wrote an episode of Doctor Who.
I didn't know that.
He's writing an episode of Doctor Who in the upcoming series as well. He's pretty genius. He's married to Amanda Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
Which
she's
if you haven't seen
kind
her
of a
TED
genius
Talk
and wonderful.
About, what is it called?
Something about fundraising.
It's like Asking.
Asking.
Asking or
Asking.
something about
Yes.
asking. Yeah, it's so good.
It's
You should
good.
definitely look it up and watch it because we'll try to find a link and put it in our thing so you can watch it because it's really
very good.
So that's his wife. And then Chris Hardwick is the Nerdist. So if you haven't looked into him, you probably should because he has a podcast called The Nerdist. And
so when I first saw that name, Chris Hardwick, I kept thinking, I'm like, why is that name familiar? But Catherine Hardwick is the one who directed Twilight. And so I kept going like, I'm having
the first movie, right?
Yeah, the first movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm having a problem here because why would you follow somebody that wrote Twilight? Like, that's not very, like, I don't know. Can't imagine you following somebody like that. But yeah, it took me seriously weeks ever since I saw that name to figure out what was wrong in my head. It takes me a while, but I get there.
Tom Hiddleston. Did I say it right? Yeah.
He's adorable
Loki.
in every way.
He is. He is adorable, and he is like the inspirational Twitter guy. Ewan McGregor's this way too, like often. Like Ewan McGregor and Tom Hiddleston are like the UNICEF people. Like they're always like,
see, I don't know.
They're always like getting money for like kids, you know, underprivileged kids and whatever else, like kids in other countries who need, you know, like things that we take for granted, like clean drinking water and stuff like that. So I love that about them. And Tom Hiddleston is always posting all these really cool inspirational quotes. I mean, he's not somebody you're gonna follow that's funny. Necessarily. I mean, he is funny, actually, but his tweets are more like deep
I just
thoughts.
think he's adorable. I think he's just an adorable, good person.
Yeah.
Like, he
seems like a really good person
everything
just
I
from
read
following
about
Twitter.
him,
I'm like,
he's
wow.
just, everything I read about him, I'm like, oh, I just really like you a lot. Just, I don't know, I appreciate
Have you ever
him.
seen him do impressions?
Mm-mm.
It's pretty amazing.
I know, I've never seen him do impressions.
You should look it up because he does some pretty good impressions. Kevin Smith, if you're not familiar with Kevin Smith, he is Silent Bob from the Jay and Silent Bob series. And he does a comic book show on TV, cable. Comic book guys, comic book men. I can't remember what it's called. I don't have cable.
I don't either.
And then he does a podcast called Fat Man on Batman. And it's pretty good, talking about comic books. And he interviews people.
Batman on Batman.
He loves Batman. Batman's his favorite. Yeah, so he's pretty great. If you are offended by foul language, you probably don't want to follow him. And, or a lot of other people on this list.
Sometimes you just have to look past
Sometimes you have to realize that Twitter's for grown-ups.
Whatever, it's fine.
Yeah. And Peter Dinklage.
Is he funny?
Yeah, I mean, you know, he posts some interesting stuff about Game of Thrones, which if you're a Game of Thrones fan.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That was a long list.
I know.
Who do you follow on Twitter?
Please
you
tell
have
us,
people that you like, because I posted something on Facebook asking, and just your daughter liked it. So you guys need to tell us who you follow on Twitter because we want to, you know.
Yeah,
we want to know.
And then if you guys give us some good suggestions, if we follow them and like them, we'll talk about it in the next show and who like you guys recommended to us because we're always looking for good, entertaining people to follow.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right then.
So I'm gonna keep you guys updated on the saga. The next, show, I'll let you know what happens between Abby and Mark. Because I know you're really curious. My rom-com comics.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I'm excited to. Yeah, and keep in mind that we'll talk more about this soon. But Free Comic Book Day is in May, so we have a little bit of time.
Maybe they'll give away 11 capes.
Yeah, but in May, I think it's the first weekend in May, so keep that marked on your calendar because you're gonna want to find. Yes, yes, I'm sure that's what they're all gonna be out there looking for. Yeah, you're gonna want to find your local comic book store because they're probably gonna be having all kinds of cool stuff going on. Like I know Escape Velocity is having all kinds of artists. In fact, there's a guy I can't remember his name, but he wrote one called Cardboard, a graphic novel that my daughter got and loved. It's really really cool. And he's written several, but the artist is going to be there at the comic book store, so she's super excited to meet him. And so yeah, it's going to be a good day. So make sure you look that up. And yeah, so I think we'll see you next time. Yeah. Thanks for joining us, and hit subscribe and like, and yeah,
talk to us.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.